Good evening, Niti ma'am. I'm so happy today to have you in the session. It's wonderful. Finally I got your appointment, and I welcome you to this interview. And to say a few word about Niti Nagarkar ma'am. Niti Nagarkar ma'am is early childhood educator and teacher trainer, and for over 2 decades. And she is a professional English language trainer from Jolly Learning Limited UK and a consultant for Handwriting Without Tears USA. She's a founder at Kids World Education Consultants, where she provides services for all preschool needs with Mission Education for All. And she's also a founder member for International Teachers Client Foundation with three more like minded partners with the motto Empowering Teachers, associated with various private as well as um, government schools across the nation. Ma'am is really doing a wonderful service to primary school education, and she's international keynote speaker and teacher trainer and an author too. She has received a recipient, award, India Glorious Achievers Award for Outstanding Preschool Curriculum, and National Builder Pan India 2020 Award for the recognition of outstanding services as a teacher, and Asian Education Award for projects in government's school. Uh, Ma'am, once again, I welcome you to this interview, and I would like you to share your views on the present and future of online education.
Thank you, Satya sir, for organizing this interview, come our meeting. Yes, coming to the point when we talk about the online education, this is something very new and a big shift that all of us have seen. Because year 2020 has been an unprecedented one. Prior that, we always, all of us had the in classroom teaching. Physically, the children are coming and, every teacher is there in the class interacting. A lot of social interaction, activity based learning was happening one on one basis in the classroom, which had to abruptly stop because of the pandemic. And overnight, the schools got shut, children are at home, the teachers are at home. Now, what next? So, the next came was the online education concept. Online education concept is already there. Only thing is now it is adopted in the school education on a very widespread and vastly accepted now. There are plus and minus of this. The thing is, all of a sudden, when we had to accept this virtual platform, we were not ready. Many of the educators were not ready. It came with its own challenges, like it was, for example, you can say the availability of the devices, internet connections, the knowledge of tech tools, how effectively we can use those tools in the school education, and many more. Teachers were not equipped to handle all the situation. And from the point of view of the parents or the children, many of them do not have access for online education. If you look at the scenario in the cities or in the metros, the change was accepted quite quickly because the parents are educated, parents understand the importance of education, the teachers are tech savvy, many of them. Everybody has access for the virtual platform. So this transition was pretty quick. But as we are associated with various schools in the smaller towns or villages, or you go to tier 2, tier 3 cities, it is really hard. Not in the beginning, even today, we do face some challenges. It is like simple thing to tell you about a smaller town that I'm dealing. In many of the families, there is just one mobile phone, which is being shared with 3 or 4 siblings. So obviously, the older children of 8th, 9th, 10th are given priority, and the kindergarten children are the last one to get it. So I really feel bad that kindergarten education has really suffered a lot. It really got neglected. Just thinking that the children are young, but those are the formative years. Had they been coming to school, we would have done a lot with them, which this year we really could not do. Or Network has been an issue many a times. So generally in most of the schools, whatever feedback we have been getting from the teachers, at the most 50% of the class attendance is seen all throughout the year. Even assessment was a big challenge. For kindergarten, I don't think we have done any kind of assessment with our children because we haven't reached that stage. That was a biggest challenge for us. Now I feel that, over the period, what we started doing was like, we just initially waited that maybe in another month's time the schools would reopen, maybe another 2 months, 3 months. But when there was no sign that there is a chance of normalcy being restored, so we had to take some steps. So as the education consultants for various schools, we started supporting our teachers by providing them with the digital content which we developed based on our curriculum, and we were helping the teachers to do that. We did some teacher training sessions, so at least the teachers can make their own PowerPoint presentations. But because the teachers were not ready for this technology, it used to take very long time for them even to have one lesson planned. So those were the hitches, but of course we have come across those hurdles now, and teachers have come to a certain level. I wouldn't say perfect, sorry, but still we do need to have some improvements. But yes, at least we have kept ourselves going. That is the biggest plus point from our entire teaching fraternity there. Another aspect was, I feel, there was a need to address the learning in the virtual platform, which otherwise in the in classroom training we might not have adopted it so easily. We did it because it was a compulsion and did it successfully. That is what I'm really happy about it, about the entire teaching fraternity. Everybody has accepted this change. From being just an educator or just as a subject teacher, I mean, all of us have moved to become a technology learners. Also, we are able to address the needs of the children, because technologically we also had to teach the children. And now I feel the time has come that we are learning from our children, because the children play around so much when you're on the Zoom call or when you're on the Google Classroom, that at times the children are knowing many more features than what we know. They are that quick learners. So that has been an amazing observation I could have with those young children. And that really gives me what you can say, such a spark these children have. So when we are exposing the children to different medias, be it your in classroom or your virtual medium or whatever exposure you give them, they are pretty quick in accepting that. So that is the biggest plus point. If you're going to look at the minus, I feel the biggest hurdle was there was no social interaction much. The children could not meet their friends, and at times we have observed some digital fatigue with the children, that sitting in front of the computer screen for a longer time was really tiring for them, wherein they just have to sit in front of the computer, listen to the teacher. So that kind of a passive learning, they find it pretty boring. So it is important that we provide them with some activities. And to provide these activities, we typically, when I'm talking about the early years education, it is a must for us to have one parent with the child. Because without the parent, I can't expect that 4 5 year old child to sit and listen to me for a longer time. That's not their attention span. Even in school we do so much of activity based learning. So yes, you can say there are many parents who have definitely supported us by sitting beside the child for about half an hour or so. And beyond that, whatever activities that we do in the school, the parents are doing at home. They're clicking the pictures and sending it to us on a WhatsApp and showing the day-to-day activities or whatever the homework kind of a thing that you do. Parents are also keeping in touch with us. Everybody is trying their level best in this. Also, we must appreciate the initiatives taken by the government. The national TV, the state televisions, they have been showing various programs. So this can be an alternative medium where the children do not have access to mobile phones or laptops. Lot many educational programs are shown on the TV, so children can learn a lot from it. And now I feel almost after a year, when slowly we feel that the things are getting to normalcy. By now, we have all of us have embraced the technology. So online education should stay. Even after we go for the physical classroom teaching, nowadays, most of the schools have got the smart boards. So whatever PowerPoint presentations or the videos and all that we have made during this time, they can very well be used in the classroom. Not that to replace the teacher, sorry, but it can always be an additional aid for the teacher, because always audio visual impacts are better. The children are able to understand the concept in a better way, and also they're able to retain it also. And also the teachers have already understood the use of tech tools, and there are a lot many engaging tools where even with the young learners we can definitely use that. So I feel that has been a positive side of online education. So what we also term it as the blended learning. The blended learning is going to be a blessing, I believe. Excuse me, sir, I am unable to hear you. Can you please repeat?
Yeah, it's wonderful to listen to you, ma'am. A lot of information about online education. It's truly valuable that you're sharing it from your experience. I do accept that online education has many advantages, and we must not leave that. Even going forward in the future, when the school education and the physical education happens, I too accept. I too want that online education to be a part of it. So because there are when we think about the future, many things happening very different. When we see in the social medias like space programs are coming in a very uh,
Hmm.
in a very big way.
Hmm.
And a lot of technology things, people talk about artificial intelligence and data science and many things. And
Hmm.
only the school learning and the traditional or the the old method of school education will be very difficult, to teach all these things to students. All right. So I too definitely accept all your views. Ma'am, maybe to ask a question, like it's very motivative. Even I also have that same vision to give education for all. Right. So what about children with I mean, students are different learning
Hmm.
abilities and different preference in learning. In your experience on giving online teaching, how do you manage this thing, and how do you think as teachers, as educators, that we can address to the needs of every individual child?
Yeah, that's a good question. Uh, Honestly, I have been dealing with regular children on a day-to-day basis, but I do have some special need kids who are associated with us. So in that case, what we have done is we have provided training to the parents. We are sharing the activities, the PowerPoint presentations with the parents, and as and when the child is ready to sit with the parents or ready to do the activities, then the parents are conducting those activities with the child. They're recording the videos of the child, sharing with us. So that is the way we are able to track the progress, and that is helping us. Now, as I told you, another advantage of pandemic or the virtual platform is I have got a kid coming to me from USA, so where we have a difference of day and night. So so whenever the so it is easy for us, to guide the parents in that case. And yes, thanks to the parents who are taking all these efforts for their child, that is really helping. Because typically what happens in differently able learners, as you mentioned, you are already into the field. You know, every child is different. It may be, some may be a visual learner or an auditory learner, or some may require some tactile or sensory issues or anything. So how do we deal with it? Online, it is really difficult to deal with these issues.
True.
So in that case, it was helping us to educate the parents, teach the parents the activities that we do at the center. Some similar activities they can do. So maybe if you do not have all the manipulatives, maybe you are having some blocks at home. If you have got sand, which is fine. If not, you can replace it with some other tactile materials. At home also we have got various tactile materials to deal with. So they can start using all these kind of alternatives. That is what we always suggest. And then try working out some activities with the child, where the child himself or herself is engaged.
Yes.
That helps.
Yes. And ma'am, to ask another question, when it comes to urban areas like cities like Mumbai, Chennai, and other metropolitan cities, even cities, teachers, whether they like it or not, they have understood the situation and then they started adapting, teaching the online education. And
Yeah.
how about small towns and small schools? What how what kind? I would like you to give an encouragement or motivation to teachers in those schools to take initiative and then to start making their effort to learn the online modes to reach out their students. So please give some words to those teachers. So it will be very helpful, I think.
Yeah. To the smaller towns, I mean, typically teachers may or may not have the laptops at home. Those who have laptops, fantastic. You can definitely start making your presentations, be it in a very primitive stage, which is perfectly okay. Not that every PowerPoint presentation has to be really very fancy, but if it is subject specific, the topic specific, it will convey your point to the child. Another thing what the teachers can do, if you do not have the laptop, nowadays everybody has got the Android phone.
Yes,
So with the Android phone, you can always record your own videos
yes,
and share it with the children. Like, for example, if you're teaching the concept of red color, we have got so many red color items in the home. So make
yes,
use of those real objects to explain the concept. And then tell the children to draw something and color it. Color it with red color, click the pictures and send it to the teacher. Teacher can say very good to every child, reply it, and then the parents are happy, the child is happy. That's the way you can keep interaction with your children. Because now this is the time when we have to embrace the technology. Wherever you are, whether you are in city or town or a village, wherever you are, and everybody is using mobile. So why not take that advantage?
yes.
And it is nothing difficult. Satya sir, do you remember your own school days when you and I have started school time? We did not have laptop,
Yes,
we did not have mobile phones,
true,
there was no WhatsApp, there wasn't any Facebook. But even at this age, we have learned all these things.
true.
So why not learn these technical aspects? There's nothing difficult. It is just that we need to adopt it.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it.
yes. And
Yeah.
ma'am, yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And you have given a very wonderful idea about the situation of online education, and you are the hope and you are a role model in this. And you said like you are leading a group of teachers and you are already teaching students in the primary level, and the results are getting better, and it's a wonderful thing to hear from you, and I'm very happy. And listening to this, our viewers, especially teachers, parents, all will get that motivations to start, to think and act and try out, the new, I mean, the technology tools to support the children, to support the students in learning online. So thank you so much for all your views, and it's very very useful. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Satya sir. Thank you very much for inviting and giving me this opportunity to share my views. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.